The victim of these energies has to go back to feed somewhere, somehow. They need the continual replenishment of energies back into their life. They need to continue to try to pretend that they're finding some type of joy and happiness, even if it is temporary. So the victims tend to learn to be very cunning. They learn to be excellent liars. They learn to distort reality because they have to. They have to in order to survive. Victims tend to be very charming. They know how to turn it on. Because the victim has to use that charm from time to time to sexually manipulate someone else, to charm someone else to get what they want. The victim tends to be highly manipulative. And even though something deep inside them tells them that this is wrong, that they are being manipulative, that they are out of their truth, they almost can't help it. It becomes an addictive energy. So you'll see these type of attributes in the victim where they can turn it on. You know, it's kind of a very simple premise. If you're a victim, no matter to what degree, but if you're a victim of people feeding on you, taking your energy, if you've ever been a victim of physical abuse, violence, if you've ever been a victim of sexual abuse, you're probably also feeding off others. You're probably also an abuser. Because if people are taking from you, sooner or later, you're going to feel the need to take from others. And again, not deliberately, not in any mean, negative way, but just for survival.
We talk about how to stop the virus of energy abuse and energy stealing. We talk about how every victim also becomes the abuser. And then they perpetuate that energy from one human to the other. It's brought down through the ancestral or the family lines. It's brought through friends, and it's particularly brought through mates and loved ones, partners.
Others do not want to hear it because in understanding the nature of sexual energy virus and sexual energy abuse, it requires one to take total responsibility for themselves as both a victim and an abuser. And it requires, perhaps even more difficult, it requires them to love themselves.
Can you change roles from victim to victimizer?
Indeed, you do. But once you find yourself in the role of a victim, it is more difficult to get out of. It tends to be a pattern that is repeated for many, many lifetimes. It is an energy that causes you to get very stuck. So it is not like one lifetime you are a victim and the next lifetime a victimizer. It is more like you live many, many lifetimes as the victim until you understand the healing process, the releasing process, and then you become the teacher. There's no need for anyone here, anyone listening to this, to ever go back to being a victim. There are no lessons to learn there for you anymore. There is not a single lesson that you can learn from being a victim. You have gained all the information and the knowledge, and now you can let that go. Being the victimizer would appear to be an easier role, but in a sense it is not. It is difficult to be so out of touch with your soul and your divinity that you would ever victimize someone else. The energy that you acquire by victimizing or abusing someone else is false energy. It does not fill you. It does not complete your hunger. It only makes you hungrier. So you find that you have to continue trying to victimize or abuse others. That is why there are serial killers, serial molesters, and abusers. They have to continue to feed their appetite. It is a type of living hell that most of them are in. So it is a very difficult role to play as well, but it is actually somewhat easier to release that story than of being the victim.
So you are not a victim of anything or anyone.
Damn it.
You can't be a victim.
Damn it. This is profound, important, and also a little shocking. There are no victims. And particularly if you've taken the sexual energy school, you understand that Tobias makes it very clear. You're not a victim of anything. There's no secret organizations that you're a victim of that are running the world, conspiracies. You're not even a victim to other people in your life that may have harmed you. You're not a victim to nature, to mass consciousness, unless you want to be. But ultimately, you're not a victim. And once you let go of that victim consciousness, it was my parents that did it. It's the world is a bad place. You really free yourself. You get out of that victim consciousness, which is going to keep putting you down. If you believe you're a victim, you will continue to be a victim, and you continue to be victimized. And further, any victim is also an abuser. Tobias goes into great lengths about this in the sexual energy school, but if you're a victim, you're also an abuser at some level, somehow. So letting go of this is, to me, one of the really important Shaumbra enlightenments. You're not a victim to anything. And it goes back to taking responsibility for your own life.
It's huge.
It's huge.